Hello and welcome to Viewpoint. My name is Volodymyr Solhub, and right now I'm joined by Ukrainian-born American Paralympic champion Oksana Masters. Oksana, welcome to Viewpoint.
Thank you so much for inviting me to be here.
Oksana, you were born in Ukraine with several radiation-induced birth defects, and because of that, you were abandoned by your parents, and the first 7 years you lived in an orphanage.
Yeah.
When you were 7 years old, an American woman adopted you and took you to the United States, to America. And today, now, is your first time when you are back in Ukraine after the adoption. So tell us, how do you feel? How do you feel about being back to your homeland?
I feel so excited to be back to where I'm from and where my life first began. It feels like a dream because I've always dreamed of coming back to Ukraine one day and being able to see it with adult eyes and learn my heritage and learn where I came from.
So do you remember something back from your early days in Ukraine? And do you also remember your first days, your first weeks, months in the United States? Because this must have been quite a drastic difference for you from being taken from an orphanage and to the United States.
Yeah, I've expressed, like, it kind of felt like Annie from the movie Annie, where this orphan gets adopted into like this and has a father, and everything's so beautiful, and felt like that. It was definitely interesting. I think, a hard time, like, now even, I have a hard time making options, and I have so many options, I have a hard time making choices because I'm not used to living in an orphanage. You never had options and choices of what you wanted to eat and stuff. So, yeah.
What was the most striking about America when you came there? What was the thing which impressed you the most?
I don't know. Everything seemed so big and fancy, and like, I think one of the things was, like, my mom got me toys, and I had no idea. Like, I'm like, oh my God, I feel like the luckiest girl right now. I have all these toys. Why do I have them all? I thought those were all the toys. And so my mom said when I was really young that I would give my friends toys because I thought they never had toys either, because that's all I knew. And so she quickly had to start checking pockets of my friends and stuff, and I just thought it was amazing. Like Cinderella. Do
you remember how you felt about having a family? You never had a real family, or you never remembered a family of your own. You spent your entire childhood in an orphanage, which wasn't the best orphanage in Ukraine. And all of a sudden, you have a caring person, you had a caring mother who took you out of Ukraine, who brought you to America.
Yeah.
How did you feel about that?
You know, it's so hard to put in words because it's something, you know, it's funny how I've always dreamed of having a mom and wanted it so much, but as a child, I didn't really know what all that was besides just someone to love you. And I know that the orphanage, especially the last one I was in when I was older, I wasn't treated the best, and a lot of kids weren't there. But at the same time, I did have someone there that was a worker, and when I was sick, would take me home. And I'm so grateful for her because I think that's where I learned love and affection, and I was able to carry that on with my mom, and I knew that's what the feeling I wanted.
This was the closest thing you had to a family.
Yeah, it was. If I got sick, this person would take me home every once in a blue moon, and I think I really held on to that feeling of belonging, and knowing that I think there is hope that I had, like, that I will have a mom. I always knew I would have a mom. I just had to wait, and yeah.
When you came to America, you had to undergo several surgeries. That's that's when all things to your body happens, which you're now. What was your reaction to that? Was it a relief for you, or how did you feel about going into more surgeries?
Well, apparently I was a really hard child to put under. I would fight back to the doctors when they were trying to put you to sleep, but especially for the amputation of my legs, I didn't know what to expect. I was a child, and I thought when I was told from the orphanage, you're gonna get adopted and your mom's gonna give you new legs, I thought I'd be getting legs like you have and just taking off the ones I have and getting new normal real legs. And I remember, like, I will never forget the feeling, especially after I had the second leg amputated, trying to get up, and I fell backwards and didn't see legs, and it was shocking. Like, the weight was so weird to feel. There's nothing there, and it was really, I struggled, honestly, for a long time to get comfortable in my new body, and the way that I learned to get comfortable in my new body and learn my new normal was through sports. And I was so lucky to have, like, rowing was there as an outlet for me.
Is this why you decided to take up sports? To do something with your body?
It's really hard to say why. I've always been very active. So
you had to put your energy somewhere.
Yeah, I had to be, like, either climbing bookcases in the orphanage or something, or I don't know, my mom called me Spider Monkey because I'm climbing or jumping somewhere. And I ice skated. When my mom first got me, I started ice skating. So I think at first it was a way to make new friends, kind of get involved with the community and my new home. And then when we moved to Kentucky, it was a struggle. I was 13, but I was introduced to rowing. There was somebody who goes to like people in schools with disabilities and kind of promoted, like, there's this adaptive rowing club, you should come out and try it. And first I was in denial because I didn't want to do a sport where it was called adaptive. Just because I had no legs doesn't mean I had to do something with disabled. And so I played volleyball in middle school with my middle school friends and team. But then I decided to, like, I'll see what rowing's like. And I fell in love with it from the first time on the water.
You took up sports in 2002, and in 10 years, in 2012, you became a Paralympic champion in London. Can you tell us about these 10 long years which you had to go from starting the sport to becoming Olympic champion?
It sounds so long and old now, and hearing it in those years. When I first started, the 10 years, I never really had the intention of Paralympics. I had no idea what the Paralympics were at that time. Doing rowing was more of a healing thing for me. Being on the water, I was untouchable and I was in control, and I loved that feeling. And it wasn't really until 2008, 2007 that somebody's like, oh, you have a potential to go to the Paralympics if you want. And that's when my focus really changed to training, to getting out, 3 to 5 times a week on the water and get stronger in the gym. And then, and then eventually it came to moving away from home to focus so a place I could go to where I could train 5 days a week, 6 days a week in the gym and row all year round. And that was a hard struggle, but it was a dream, and that's what it took for me to accomplish my goal, and so I just chased it.
This was also it also required a lot of sacrifice. You had to drop out of college. You could not complete your studies. So what motivated you to focus entirely on sports?
Well, this is, like, everybody has their own thing, that's their niche, that they're passionate about. So, like, sports is for me, where reading is to some people, and going to school and becoming a lawyer and stuff. And I know my body is not always going to allow me to do what I want to do at the level that it requires me to push it and be an elite athlete. And so I wanted to chase that dream because I didn't want to be 30 and be like, oh, I wonder what would have happened if I moved away and trained, and would I ever have won? Would I have ever have a Paralympic gold medal or a medal in general and things like that.
Oksana, can you tell us how did it happen that you took both summer type of sports, rowing, and also you do cross-country skiing?
Cross-country skiing was an accident, actually. I love winter. I love snow. I lived in Buffalo. I'm from Ukraine, where it gets cold, so it's in my blood. After rowing, I just got connected through. We were at an event for rowing, and somebody else was there that is a cross-country skiing coach, and heard that I wanted to try skiing and gave me that opportunity. They had a camp. A few weeks later, I got to go out on snow and try it, and I fell in love with it. And then, never in a million years, I would have imagined to be going to Sochi and qualifying.
So, Oksana, we'll have to break here. This has been Volodymyr Zulub for Viewpoint, together with Ukrainian-born American Paralympic champion Oksana Masters. We will continue our interview with Oksana. And now back to the news on Ukraine Today.